Hey, it's White Boy Chris. If the Pat Downs ever made you laugh, then join our Patreon and support us. Get bonus content, a t-shirt, or an autographed copy of Rabbit, Miss Pat's autobiography. Visit MissPatComedy.com for the link to the Patreon, and while you're there, join our Facebook group.
Welcome to another episode of the Pat Down, and hell yeah, my show broke BETL. Thanks to my damn crack babies, my fans, y'all TikToks, y'all reposts, y'all reviews, y'all did every damn thing. Y'all did everything so bad, I hid in my hotel room. I was scared to come out. Matter of fact, did I tell y'all me and Quisha walked inside of a beauty supply in the Safari, and this lady said, I said, bitch, what's wrong with you? And she's like, you Miss Pat. I was like, bitch, calm down, you about to get hit. Scared the dog shit out of me. I'm like, oh, she's like, I was just telling everybody to watch your show. I said, look, girl, you don't run up on me like that. You don't get fucked. I'm a convicted felon. Stay tuned after the music and find out what we're talking about on the Pat Down with Miss Pat, Dion, and Chris.
You better get up, get out, and tune into this podcast. Miss Pat spit the truth, spit the real fact. Nothing but the ugly, classy at the same time. Pat got the flavor, these are not your same lines. That's the politics, she been on the real grind. It could be pretty but ugly at the same time. Just tune in, put your lock on the spin down. Ain't no need for the wait and turn it up now. What you talking about? Is it real though? And cut the game, you get no play like Nintendo. You wasted time, turn it up, nothing but the ugly. Straight off the top, everything she say, you know it's funny. Full blast, this a taste of the future. Listen on your iPhone, on your desktop computer. Share it, tweet it, ain't no way to beat it. Nothing but the ugly, turn it up and gon' repeat it.
Hey guys.
Anything going on this week?
Asshole.
What a fucking crazy 4 days. It exceeded my expectations. How about you, Miss Pat?
Who's telling there? It got me too, goddamn. You know, I expected good. I was kind of a little worried because, you know, you don't really know how people gonna take shit, especially when you cursing and you being real. All these old set it off right motherfuckers in this world. Oh my God, how dare you? But you suck frozen cucumber with condoms on it and play like you got a dick at the house. So I was a little worried, but one thing I know, it was well written. It was funny. We talked about shit. So if they wanted to hate, they were just gonna hate. So I just told Jordan, I said, one thing I've learned in life, crack ain't never had no motherfucking commercial. Crack sell itself. And what we have here is the crack before the comeback came out.
What's the comeback?
That's when you used to add it to the crack and they blew it up. We blow it up and make it extra dope. So
nice.
You got the pure crack right now. First season was a pure crack. And
Friday.
I know we all worked on it. We worked really hard. Each and every fucking joke from sun up to sundown.
Friday, she called me, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
It was like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. And I go, oh my God, Miss Pat is calling me. I can't believe it. You're so famous. She goes, fuck you.
I guess I don't know why my friend Jordan over at Barstool, she got invited to the party, to the premiere party. She's like,
and she came.
I'm just so excited. I'm like, how does she not think this girl meets famous people all day, every day at Barstool HQ, but Miss Pat invites her to a party. She's boo-hooing.
She came too, and she watched it. She's like, it was so good, Miss Pat.
She's the sweetest. It meant a lot that you invited her.
Sitting at the premiere, I've watched the pilot 100 times, y'all.
Right.
And, we was hand in hand, we cutting it and, making sure it didn't sound like a laugh track and fighting with people about jokes. So I spent a lot of long hours after we was finished taping this shit, just putting it together with Jordan. Now, don't get me wrong, he put a lot more hours than I did because I had to go off and be a comedian. But sitting there at that premiere, and seeing people who had never seen it, it was almost like stand up to me. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't really know what's coming. It was just funny as hell. And sitting there that day, I told my friend Tris, I said, I think I got a hit.
You
It was
do?
that permit.
Yeah,
I was
for
like,
sure.
I think I got a fucking hit.
Remember when you showed me the pilot the first time and I told you, I go, Pat, watching this reminds me of good TV from the 90s. I go,
Yes.
it ain't been a show like this since the mid 90s where people were like, man, I can't wait till next week. And you'd be in school and you'd be like, did y'all see the episode, man? I wonder what they're going to talk about next. That's the vibe that show gives. And then you've seen it. It's been out for 2 days and it's been nonstop people saying the exact same thing. Like, oh man, I had to watch it over and over and over again. I missed something the first time because I was laughing so hard. It's just been amazingly positive reviews. I haven't seen one negative thing.
I haven't either.
And I've been looking.
I know my Nike was like, Mama, you know he gonna say something stupid. I said, what? Nike said, why y'all put so many jokes in here? I gotta go back and watch it again because I was laughing too. I said, get your dumb ass out my phone.
Yeah, I only have one criticism. There weren't any fart jokes. And I really feel like you had the full range of comedy except for jokes. So really, could you redo the whole series?
No, fuck you. I never wrote a fucking fart joke. But it's surreal shit. It took 5 years to get here. 2-3 networks, so many no's, so many ups and downs. And this is one reason why I never take no for an ounce. And I don't give up easy. I fight, goddammit. And we did. And I'm so glad that BET Plus picked us up because I know we are at the right fucking place to get this type of show done.
Yeah. I mean,
And the audience love it.
It was really well done. Jordan and all the writers and you like captured your family, your vibe perfectly. Like it shows exactly what it's like to be in Miss Pat's house. Like
Hits.
with Miss Pitt's house. Well, that's my other
You call him
podcast,
Pissy.
Mr. Pitt's Crunk Babies. I thought it was really, really good. Like, I know it's like I work at Bob and Tom and they're like comedy club owners. Like they've seen every comic, heard every joke. And my coworker, Jeff, was just like, it's really good. Tom thought it was really good. Like there's, when you have like industry people like Rogan and Whitney Cummings and all these podcasts that you've been doing go, it's really good. Like, it's good because there's nothing worse than like some of these sitcoms now where you turn on a sitcom like on Netflix and you're like, the fuck is this shit? Sitcoms are just dog shit now. And you guys weren't hacky. It was
going to say,
challenging.
I think that was the most fascinating thing about it, that the jokes weren't predictable.
Yeah.
It wasn't a setup, a lead up to like, I know what you're about to say. No one ever knew what you were going to say next. Nobody ever knew what Denise was going to say next.
It wasn't formulaic, right?
Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know what I'm going to say in my fucking stand-up unless you don't see me do the same set that I'm tired of doing now. I'm getting ready to finally fucking tape. But, I've always learned to write jokes. And that's when I first met Jordan. Like, I was like, let me talk to you for a minute, little dude. I could see that joke coming. I said, let me show you how to write a joke. I said the best joke is when somebody don't know it's coming. That's when you get that gut fucking laugh that feel like somebody punched you in your damn stomach.
Like when you told Jordan to stop giving gay shout outs on Rogan.
I just watched that.
What are you flirting with your hands? I about wrecked my car.
I said, Rogan, put your hands there. You're sickening dicks. Put your hands there. Call them dicks. But, he listened and we listened to each other and he just started to write a whole different way, especially with comedy. I said, we can't write shit that people know is coming and, corny shit. And that's a good thing about him. He was never corny to me. It was just some of the, like one or two things in the very beginning. I said, hey, I can see that coming. And you always want to hide the punchline because that's why it's so funny. Like, you don't know I'm about to tell them kids, this piece of hell on my fucking head. You don't know I'm about to say, did you tell your daddy where a click is? Did you teach your daddy what a click is? You don't know that shit.
Reagan was like, my fiance was like, I've never heard the N-word in a show before, especially not this much. So I just think like the language, I don't know. I didn't find it. I guess I'm just used to you. You know, like it to me, we're friends. So it's like
You're used to it.
right. So it wasn't shocking to me, but to sit with somebody who doesn't, you know, talk to you every
But
day.
it's not shocking to anybody because the show is so funny.
Yeah.
You laugh and then you go back like, wait a minute, they were doing a lot of fucking cussing. Oh, but they was cursing.
Right.
So we built it like that. So even though it's cursing there, you enjoy the show so much. It's like if you at a restaurant and the food is so fucking good and you see a roach go up the wall. It's like, well, shit, I'm already in now.
I think the magic of the language and the writing in the show, it's not cussing just to be
at a
cussing.
restaurant where roaches at.
He just had a Burger King cup, so he's had 4 roaches today.
You guys don't know, but roaches are full of protein.
And you do need it. But anyway, what was you about to say?
I was going to say the cussing isn't just to be cussing. Like there's every time that it's said, it's either driving a point home or it's emphasizing something. And so just random throwaway cuss words to be, you know, cuss words.
Like the early days of HBO and Showtime when they're like, well, we can say fuck here. So let's really like put it in everything. And it was like, okay, we get it. It's not meant to be edgy because cursing's not edgy anymore.
The episode where you step on the second episode, the coupon books, you go, did she just call me a nigga? And then at the end of the episode, you hit it again, and it just fits. It works. It's perfect, but it's not just saying it to be saying it.
I have a question. Am I allowed to say renege? Is that a problem? Is that a?
No.
Okay.
That's in the card game.
Well, I was watching the card game, and I was like, wait. Have I been saying something racist my entire life? But then when you fill out renege, that made me howl. It was great. That was my favorite episode. Was the racism episode, which again was not done like I'm gonna talk down to you, white people. You need to be less racist, like that sort of like smug attitude that I think pushes people away a lot of times. You dealt with it in a way that was very funny. You were the problem. Then everybody was trying to talk to you, and you really saw the point that was trying to be made in a really funny way, if not incredibly racist to our Asian friends.
I mean, it was like I always put stuff back on me, even with my stand-up, because it's a teachable moment. You know, I figure you can learn through me instead of me saying, hey, this is you. So
Right.
I feel like when I put it on me, it's easier for people to swallow the pill that we're trying to say. And it's usually pretty fucking true. You know, episode 3, is that the non-gender foundation thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the episode list so we can talk educated about the show that you wrote.
I think that's episode 4 with all the words, right?
Yeah, the Sticks and Stones. I thought that was all one.
Episode 3 is Ashley comes
right.
home.
Yeah, Sticks and Stones had the Neutrogena.
See somebody at the club. Call the club for me, baby. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's new. Yeah, and that was a teachable moment for me because I was a kid in the neighborhood like that, and that's why I challenged. We tried to. Well, Jordan challenged it through me, so people can say, "Hey, you know, is nothing wrong with you when you don't know, as long as you're willing to fix it."
You have the innocence of ignorance.
Right.
But once you're confronted, no, I'm saying you don't know until someone tells you. So
That's right.
That's the ignorance that most people have, which is innocent because you don't know. And it isn't until you were confronted with it in the episode that you actually stop to think about it and go, you know what, you're right. I do need to change because I don't want to be out here hurting people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
My second favorite was The Club. You'd shown me that at your house along with the Baby Daddy episode, but The Club was hysterical. The blonde lady that played the white Plainfield resident, like she was so
Love
good.
her.
All the actors in the show were great.
She was so nice.
Yes.
Just funny.
And I cannot wait to bring her back because she's my homegirl. She's my only friend in the neighborhood. Like she's, the neighborhood is white, so you really won't get to see a lot of black people unless they're family members. So, I'm not going to pretend like they live, other people live in my neighborhood. It's where I live at for real. But that lady is probably she's probably based off people that I've met in Plainfield. Because when she auditioned, her name is Reagan too. And when she auditioned, and I was looking, I was like, oh my God, this is what they looking like in Plainfield. Her, the secretary, all of them. And that's why the casting is so good, because I tried to keep it so, they open? Mm-hmm. So, that's when my books come. So real to my life. I try to keep it so real, where people can say, oh, this show looked really real. The casting is so good.
I had friends and family messaging me, all my Plainfield friends and family. Plainfield's very excited about this, obviously. They're like, was that Mr. So-and-so? Did she base that off of him? Was that like everybody's trying to figure out who in town was what? Yeah, I got another comment that like a friend thought that when you went out into the community, that was one of their favorite things, was that it was like that fish out of water. Like, and I think in episode 2 where you're going to the PTA meeting, if I can just be honest, like you nailed something, and I like. You felt judged, like, oh my God, they're looking at me like I'm black and they know I'm a felon. And it turned out that all the white people were feeling insecure too. And that was causing the awkwardness. And I always kind of felt like as a white person, I was nervous to talk to black people because I was afraid that they would think I was judging them or vice versa. Like, I don't know. You really nailed that anxiety in a really funny, artful way. And I thought it was really, really good.
And that's what we was trying to do. We was trying to nail a lot of, stuff without just pointing the finger, to try to get conversation started, really, because I know how I felt when I moved to Plainfield.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt. But that's not that shit was just in my head. It was in my head that they wasn't going to accept me because I was black, and they didn't let me in the coupon party. And, all of that stuff was just in my head, and we took it and put it on paper, which I'm glad you was able to relate to.
In a big way, yeah. I mean, there was one part where in the daddy episode with the stepdad and Brandon, like, being a future stepdad, like that made me tear up. Like I just think, and I'm sure there were a bunch of people who watched, one commenter was like, I fought with my sister before, and that had me crying so hard because I just related to it so much. So I think there's so many parts of this that were relatable on so many levels, no matter where you come from in life.
Well, that's good. I'm hoping that they give us a second season.
Well, they have to. You crashed BET Plus. People that first day couldn't watch it. It was dragging on them. There's no way. There's not a second.
It's still dragging.
Yeah,
because I've been trying to loop the episodes, and sometimes the app will just crash and I have to reload it. So
there was one woman who was going out to take her kids to a soccer game. Deanna wrote in, just to let you know, my 2 daughters, 11 and 10, were going to soccer practice. So we were getting ready to leave. The TV was on in their bedroom loud, and my husband told them to turn it off. And they yelled, "No, Mom, Miss Pat said she needs a season 2 and that we need to leave it playing when we aren't watching it." They're 10 and 11.
Well, I say, if you talk to your kids the way I talk to my kids, they ugly ass can watch it too. I mean, it really is a family show. It's just with language.
Yeah.
It's just with language. If you took out the language, I mean, it's going to eventually be on BET. That might be more appropriate for the family. But it's to me, I know that we poured our heart, sweats, and backs into this bitch. And I'm so glad that the public received it the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, it was hundreds of I couldn't keep up, Dion. I didn't see a single negative one. Not in the Crack Babies at all.
There were none in the Crack Babies. I was on Twitter and Instagram searching to see if anybody had anything negative to say, and I couldn't find out a single negative comment. And what was really cool on Twitter was there were so many celebrities who were tweeting about the show that I didn't even think would think to watch it,
So between now and the 26th, it's determined on the street. Jordan said on Rogan that and on the last episode, it's based on how many people watch it. Will we know the 26th where it was at? Or do you have any numbers now? Like Any idea
We
how
don't
it's
get
doing?
any numbers for 2 weeks. Be about 2 weeks, probably about 3 weeks before we know if we got it. But probably about a month or so. It could be longer. I don't know how long before they tell us if we even got a second season.
Mm.
So
No.
There will be a riot.
if you a second season, it would be the biggest travesty.
Well, the good part is it did so well. If it's not a second season, another network could always come along and pick it up. But I think the relationship that we have here at BET Plus, that they really care about this show. You can see it in the marketing. I mean, the marketing was crazy. I've never seen a show on that network market the way they market this show. And I mean, I'm so grateful.
I've never said, my heart stopped when I saw Miss Pat in a TMZ tweet. I was like, fuck, who did she beat up? Like, she couldn't handle the pressure. She kicked the shit out of a clerk somewhere. And it was an advertisement. I mean, they, 3 billboards in Plainfield, Times Square, Atlanta. Like, it was everywhere.
Really?
Like, that first day, everywhere, me and all of my friends, like, it followed us all over whoever that digital agency is, you should get a raise. Like, it was amazing.
Thank you. I'm going to tell Caitlin because when I tell you, I was like, y'all fucking killed it. I mean, all the gifts they made, people TikToking. Some lady Jordan just literally sent me this from a lady. She said, I saw a clip of the Miss Pat show on TikTok. So I decided to watch it. Oh my God, this show so damn black. Not Tyler Perry black, black people black. It's just a lot of cussing, but still funny as a motherfucker.
I gotta be honest, obviously I'm not black. I didn't feel like it was a black show.
Well, black people say that because the characters are black.
Right.
I think when black people say black, it's like when you see me, you say I'm a black comedian. But when you hear my stand-up, I attract everybody. So she just saying what she's attracted to. If it was a white person, they're like, oh my God, this show is so fucking good. I can relate. So it is not black. She's black.
Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense.
She's just excited to see something that represents her, but she don't know people of all ages. All races. It represents all races. I mean, if you don't have a Miss Pat in your family, if your wife is not a Miss Pat, you probably have a Miss Pat in your family. Or you might know family members that act like us.
No, nobody has a Miss Pat in their she and I were talking about this earlier. I have been around you too long. I have been close to you too long that we forget how funny and good you are. Like, when you would come on Bob and Tom 5 years ago, I'd be like, who is this person? She's going to be a monster. Like, there's nobody like Miss Pat. I mean, Rogan really hit on it too. It's like, you can't be replaced with anybody, like I don't know.
I tell people all the time, all the Miss Pats in your family didn't survive that second gunshot.
It reminds me of the dad, and I shot the bitch.
That's why I shot the bitch. Garyana has the biggest laugh at that moment. That's why I shot the bitch. You can hear Garyana clear as day.
No, you think that's funny? Y'all need to. Well, the show is fucking funny, but you want more funny? Watch the fucking bloopers we about to release.
So y'all are doing bloopers.
We did do a blooper reel. Oh my God, it was so fucking funny, y'all. Did you see it, Dion?
You sent me a thing, but I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. But the one where
I fall.
Yeah.
That's the blooper reel.
Chris asked me for that clip. I go, I don't have it. Otherwise, I'd have gave it to him. But
it's when we
I remember being there live. Fucking poor Garyana didn't give zero fucks about you. She'd have asked me.
I fell. Okay? My kids, I hear my kids say, LT, the furniture fell. And then Garyana holler, my check.
I was mostly excited for the show because we could finally show the clip of you air humping, which is the funniest shit I've ever seen. The director, you posted this.
Now rub your titty.
And then you heard tell us about rub my titty.
Oh, for leverage, okay. So you ain't gonna fall. You got a chair and a counter. And I'm sweating. Good!
She was so apprehensive about doing that scene, Chris. Like, she
Really?
go, I feel stupid. And Kim is like, no, you got to do it like this. And Miss Pat was like, but I feel dumb. She was like, look, this is how you got to do it. So that was, how long did you spend on that scene, Miss Pat? It was like probably 10, 15 minutes just at that part for Kim to explain it. So we finally started recording it and it was gold. That was another thing that I thought was really, really phenomenal about this show was your interaction with the different directors. Can you talk about that a little bit? How their differences shaped each episode?
Yeah. Of course, Debbie Allen shot the pilot. That was fucking out of this world because, I mean, she literally, like I said on every podcast, she was sitting me down at her house and work with me. And she really put me in shape for the pilot. So the other 9 episodes come along. The first director was Robert Countryman, who was so good, but worked the dog shit out of us. We had no air that day because that was the first shoot. So I guess they didn't think we needed no fucking air. And it was a long day. You know, it was the first episode back after the pilot. And it was just so much shit to do to get in order. And so there was some ups and downs, but he was so patient. And he just comes like, this show is so fucking funny. Thank you, Robert Countryman. Excuse me, y'all, for doing a great fucking job, even though you like to sweat all our wigs off. Then came Mary Lou Bella. She was the only white director we had. But when I tell you she was funny, she was all them N-words. And before she would say, it was like, I would say, Mary Lou, because she came from shooting like, what's those shows, NCIS?
Mm.
So I said, Mary Lou, you ain't never been around no real nigga shit like this. So she the one stream in one of those monologues. And what did she stream out there?
She goes, porch monkey.
She goes, porch monkey. I was like, I want Mary Lou to say it because I feel it when she say it.
Was she white?
Yeah, she did not want to say it. I said, say porch monkey, Mary Lou.
What about the kid that had to say the N-word, which one of my favorite lines was we're the Mexican family. We were the black before you guys got here. Which, being from Plainfield and not having a black classmate in the late 90s, like I was like, yeah. Was he like nervous to yell it out or say it as aggressively as he did?
Nah, he let that nigga go. I was like, well, God damn. Now,
it was funny because there was a lot of takes for that too. Like, so he
oh no.
That day he had to wake up and put his nigga cap on.
He didn't seem phased by the taller kid who was smoking the weed in one of those episodes. He was scared to say nigga. He was scared. He did not want to say the N-word at all. But that one who said, we're a black family, I was like, God damn. He didn't give a fuck. He could act.
Well, let's take a quick break, and then when we get back, the Crack Babies, who did a great job, have a bunch of questions that they want to ask you. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with the Crack Baby questions. All right, so Dion, you asked the audience, and I have to give a shout out to all 12,000 Crack Babies, even though the quote-unquote OG Crack Babies are trying to start a clique. Did you see this, Miss Pat? I know you've been busy, but the Crack Babies who discovered you a year ago are pissed that there are new people discovering you, and they want their own group because they owned you first, I guess.
No.
Just get along, Crack Babies. But you asked a question, Dion.
So I told people in the Pat Down group that we were going to be talking about the show heavily on the next couple of episodes. And if they had any questions that they wanted to ask, do that. And so the first question is from Kathleen. And she asks, is Denise's character based on one of Pat's siblings or a combination of several? So they want to know, who is Denise mostly based off of?
my sister who smoked crack, and a little bit of Quisha. Because when we was developing that character, I don't spend a lot of time with my sister. I just know she has a drug problem, and I was trying to think of I was gonna really base off like the childhood character, but then when I started dealing with it, I was like, you know what, Jordan, this crazy motherfucker right here could be my sister. This character, the person with our Quisha act, is we kind of just like took some of the shit Quisha did.
The club
And
episode
kinda-
is all Quisha. It's so funny. Yeah. and Tammy even says stuff in the way that Quisha says it. So like,
'Cause that's the voice we write in.
yeah.
I'm telling you now, I'm not paying you shit, Quisha.
I'm not no crackhead.
Oh, that's right. Quisha, like for them, y'all know she's not a crackhead. The crack comes from my real sister, not
I'm not no
Quisha.
broke bitch.
And she ain't no broke bitch.
No,
Oh,
that's
goddamn, they thought she was broke bitch.
Girl,
That-
yeah, they act like they want to go GoFundMe for them.
She said they want to do a GoFundMe.
far
Hey,
yeah.
make that money, Quisha. Let them think you broke.
Far be it for me to tell you how to write a TV show. Her being a crackhead didn't connect with me. I want more Quisha. Put more Quisha into it. But that character is iconic and hilarious, just like Quisha.
Well, she's a recovery. She got her life together. So it's something that she was in the past.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Tammy absolutely nailed that role.
Oh,
Absolutely.
So good.
Oh,
What was crazy is like the first day that I was there, I could just see how well you two specifically work together. Like you have a dynamic with each character because you're the star of the show. But like even with Terry, Jay Bernard, your dynamic, the way for me, it just felt like you and Tammy were the closest on the set. Like you two were the easiest to work off of each other. Like it wasn't something that you needed to rehearse over and over and over again. Yeah, just had that like instant chemistry. Did you feel that way at all?
yeah. I mean, when you're working with people and then when acting and feelings come into shit, you really start to connect with that person. And you feel like, for me, since I was such a new actress, I started to feel like that was my fucking sister. And I don't just go to work with people. I build relationships. So me and Tammy would talk off, when we're not at work, or if we had time, we would go get a drink. So that's how I am. So I was very connected. So I could feel the chemistry where it just felt so real.
The moment I laughed hardest at was when you two fought at the job. That was hysterical. The way it was, it was really good.
They didn't even use the best take, if you ask me.
Really?
There was a take where I think one of them fell over. And I was like, oh man, it was so funny.
That old man in that wheelchair was funny too.
Was that improv? Does that
For him.
Yeah.
For him.
that you look like Aunt B?
For him. Aha.
Oh, please tell me that's on the blooper reel.
It is.
Okay.
It is. I fucking holler when he said that. It was improv.
So Kelly has a couple questions, and one of that was one example. But what were some unscripted moments or lines that made it into the show?
My favorite was when the daughter was eating the cake, trying to keep me and the dad from eating the cake, and I stuck my hand in her mouth. That was fucking, that was me. I was just a reaction. And I tried to hold it as I walked away, but we all fucking busted out.
I loved that you guys left that in because it was like a family moment, where you're all laughing at each other.
Yeah. So when I stuck up my hand in her mouth, boy, they could not stop laughing.
Go ahead, Dion.
I was going to say, because in that scene, we were trying to get it right. We were trying to find something there. And then Miss Pat just did it on her own. And once she did it, we were like, oh, that is it. That was the only time you did it, right? Just that one time. You didn't.
Yeah, just that one time.
Because there was multiple times where she had to keep eating the cake.
Yeah.
And at one point, Miss Pat go, "Y'all gonna make this girl look like me. We have to keep doing this over and over again." And so in that final one, that was just perfect. Just perfect. It was like, oh, we don't need to do anything else.
But she was so good at holding her laugh because she wanted to bust out laughing.
So was there anything that didn't make it to the final edit that you wish did?
Yeah. It was a joke we had where Jesse and my daughter is in the kitchen and they're talking about debating abortions. And I was like, I look around the wall. I was like, excuse me, you can't keep them all. And I interrupt the conversation. I know Jordan got it. So I'm going to ask him. I wish it was in the blooper reel.
Did you say that on Rogan instead? Because I know I saw you say that somewhere.
I don't know. I probably did, but that was a joke Jordan cried about that we could not have.
How did you choose the names that you did instead of using the real ones? Like, why did you go with Carson and not Williams? Or
I didn't do any of that. Jordan had all of this stuff in his ears. He chose the Carson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dion, you want to choose next?
Yeah. Another question from Yanitra Bowles. This is from Top Heavy Women. Where did Miss Pat get her bras from? Everybody want to know where you got your bras from on the show because they said your titties was looking good.
I think they got them from Lane Bryant. Where did she get her bras from?
My group archenemy KB Leone says, will Garyana continue to write more episodes for the show, or does she have an interest in getting more involved in writing scripts for other shows now too? She did great.
She's gonna write more episodes. I'm hoping that she will get involved and write more for other places. That was her first one, so I'm looking forward to her writing like one on her own this year. I mean, when we get another season.
Probably the most asked question is if Dion and I will get a cameo, or if you'll have characters based on us next season.
If I start a podcast.
All right.
Of course. But yeah, you can, Chris, you white as fuck. You fit right in.
Listen, if you guys need somebody to look over the script to Plainfield it up, let me know. You
can easily be the delivery man. Real easy.
He should have been Tammy's boyfriend.
So let's see. What Cody asks, what was it like acting with Tommy Davidson? Talk about some of the cameos, because there was Tommy Davidson and I know some other people on there.
Tell him about Tommy Davidson, Miss Pat.
I better not.
Let me ask. Let me ask a different question. So the bartender in the club, is that somebody I should know? Because I felt like that was a famous person I wasn't aware of.
You talking about the club owner?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that was Hardo Arado from Urkel Show.
Oh, okay.
Family Matters.
No, not the comedy club. I'm talking about in the.
You're talking about the dance club.
The dance club.
Oh, that was T.S. Madison.
Okay.
Yeah, she was famous. She's a transgender.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
BigBlackDick.com.
Yeah, BigBlackDick.com.
Oh, I already have that in my search bar here.
Yeah, you can go to BigBlackDick.com and find her.
I feel like you're trolling us, but
no, I'm serious.
She's not. She's serious.
No, that just takes me to ratemycock.com.
But they say T.S. Madison.
Put T.S. Madison. He said go ratemydick.com.
Hold on. I gotta. Let's see here. All right, take a picture. Okay, yeah. I felt like it was somebody that I should know, but I didn't. But the comedy club owner was who?
He was Waldo from Family Matters.
Oh, yeah. I knew him from somewhere.
And can we talk about the job he did of portraying the person he was portraying?
Identical.
all the local comics here, Miss Pat, hit me up and go, God damn, he did a good job.
Oh, my God. Didn't he do a good job?
Did a great job.
He did a great job for portraying the evil fuck that was in my life when I first got to Indiana. Oh my God, he looked like him, everything. He did a great fucking job.
Once you guys told me who it was, I couldn't unsee it. It was really spot on.
It was funny because Jay Bernard was asking me about the guy in real life. And I was telling him, I go, dude, you got to give Jordan and Pat so much credit for picking Waldo because he looks exactly like he goes, does he? I've never seen the guy. So I pull him up and oh fucking God, he looks just like him. So you guys killed it on that casting. Absolutely killed it.
Next question. Will they possibly add characters in later seasons for Miss Pat's bonus kids? She cracks me up with those little kids from Amanda.
If I get enough season, Amanda.
So start
I'm
streaming.
planning on it.
See, Krista here wants to know, was there definitely thought on scripted clothing, i.e. your pajamas, Terry's black t-shirt on episode 5, My God versus Everybody, and the HBCU gear? Was that something that they picked out themselves? Or
we picked out. That's what we wanted. That My God versus Your Enemy is DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club. That's Charlamagne co-host. That's his wear. And of course, I wanted to shout out Black HBCUs. So I tried to put them in as much as possible. So I think we got him in a couple episodes. No, that was definitely me and Jordan. He wanted to bring back that living. What was that? That
Different World.
Different world feel to it. You know, because even though you don't, you know, you got. It was also because I do have 2 kids that was old enough to go to Black. You know, probably could head to HBCU, and I just wanted to put that positive vibe in their minds and stuff. Plus, the oldest daughter Ashley graduated from Spelman, so that's why we chose HBCUs, and we're Black.
Would love, Krista writes, would love to know what limits were placed on your show. Was listening to Two Funny Mamas a while back where Sherry Shepherd and David Arnold, and they were talking about the show they had for one season, and she mentioned how one day someone came in with hoop earrings, and they told her no, and she had to take them out because of the audience and executives. So are there any cuts you can divulge that you wish you could have been able to keep?
That's really a Jordan Cooper question because I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't in that much of an edit, so I don't know.
There was one line. Is one of your jokes, episode 4, when we're using the derogatory terms that they made you go back and change because of what was happening during that time period. But it ended up working out okay. But I still think like that was the one thing for me where I was like, man, I wish they left it in because it's funny, but it's also pertinent to the conversation, you know, when using words that you shouldn't use. And, you know, she said it on the podcast, you know, a million times. And I just felt like that one little piece, it didn't really affect the overall episode too much, but I think it would hit just a little bit harder if they left it in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Pat.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Tell all of us. Come on. Secrets are no fun unless you share with everyone.
Well, I mean, it was just a derogatory word. I mean, it was an episode. I'm not using this word to offend anybody. It was the word Jap slap. And they took that out. And we tried to really fight for that. But they removed the word Jap slap. Because at the time, Asians were having a lot of problems with attacks. And we understand. Everybody wants to be safe. You know, you don't want to do anything to encourage people to hurt another race of people. So we took it out, and that was a word I wish we could have kept.
That is a term that multiple people in my life have said and gotten in trouble for because they didn't know that particular phrase was a problem. You know, so that's kind of a bummer that didn't get kept in.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed out for that too. I was like, fuck, I really wanted people to see this word and, you know, and understand what we was trying to do, but they replaced it, but which is fine. You know, you can't get it. That's the purpose. That's the purpose of having a team, a network team, and then your team, and y'all collide together to make something great. You know, BET made a lot of great moves on the stuff that we discussed back and forth what we can and can't do, and that's why I think the season is so great because we was also hand in hand in this project together.
Stacy writes, I'm curious to know more about the writing and editing end of things. How heavily was Miss Pat involved in both the writing and the editing? Who was part of the team that might surprise us? Apart from the phrasing, which has been discussed, was there anything Miss Pat wouldn't include? Is there something that you took out?
We had an episode 7 where it was going to be about my mama boyfriend molesting me, and I scrapped the whole. I struck the whole.
Yeah, you talked about it on Rogan that
episode.
it was just like it was too tough at that point.
When today?
Yeah.
You already got the ticket?
I had mine.
Huh?
I had mine.
Okay. What time is it?
It's at 6. I'm good.
Okay. What did you say now?
So, how much editing? I know that you were. I mean, you wrote the show. I mean, you and Jordan and a team
had
of writers.
but we went behind every writer. We had to touch every strip. And that was something that I learned. My name should have been on every fucking episode, but that's here nor there. But we was very heavily involved. That was an episode, like I said, we strapped about, and I'm going to change that because I want you to edit. That was an episode we strapped about something that happened to me when I was a kid because we're going to plan on doing that episode. That's why I said that.
Got it.
I don't want to get it away. That I wasn't ready to do. And so we strapped it. And we wrote a whole new episode, which was fucking hard.
If
we had to get it.
If you want me to edit out of our podcast, you shouldn't have said it on Joe fucking Rogan.
Did I say that on
You
this?
did.
Oh, well, fuck it, keep it in. That was that episode. It was about molesting. And so I decided I don't want to do it. Started it over.
Yeah.
And we did. And we eventually get to it because it's such a heartfelt moment for me. So I want it done right. So it'll be such a heartfelt, it will be a healing for all of us.
Yeah, I feel like watching you cuss out the X at the end of episode 5, was it? Like that felt like it was real.
It was so funny. I don't know if this is the blooper reel or not, but she calls him nigga bitch. He goes, I ain't gonna be too many nigga bitches.
That actor was so good.
And he also said, he said, can you please hurry up this scene? She's killing my soul.
He was
He
so
was
good.
so funny. Like he was funny off camera. He was really funny in his audition tape. I mean, I can't stress enough how well you guys nailed the casting for this show. There's not one person who appears on screen that says something that wasn't just nailing it. Like you guys really, really killed it.
Yeah. Thank you. We appreciate that.
How like emotional was that moment for you cursing him out?
It was so emotional. Like I said, on I don't know if I said, I think I did say it was so emotional when we finished the scene. Jordan wouldn't stop crying.
Yeah. I wondered if that was the scene after I saw it. I mean, it was like knowing you and knowing that story, like I could tell that was real. And it made me tear up too, because I was like, that felt good. Like for her, right? So that was pretty cool.
Release for real.
Yeah.
Have you heard from him since the show's come out? Has he sent you any emojis on Facebook Messenger?
No.
has he waved at you?
As he roller skated by. And,
I haven't heard anything from him. He been stopped talking to me months ago, so I probably won't hear anything from him.
would you bring that actor back? Like, would you bring that character back, or was that a one-time thing? Okay. All right, good.
You're gonna see him again.
All right, good, because it was so good, and especially if he's in roller skates, I won't be able to take it.
I put him in roller skates.
It's so good. It's so funny. Let's see. I'm so sorry. I know I might get your name wrong. Shesus says, when will Quisha make a cameo? Would she be an extra or a cameo or anything like that? How open
no.
and how open are you to like putting real people in your life, like a Garyana or somebody in the back? Like, are you opposed to that, or do you want to do that?
No,
Beauty salon.
no. I mean, we might go to a beauty salon. You might see Quisha. Who knows? I'm not going to tell you, but you'll see.
All right.
Keep watching. Hopefully, we get a second season, and just keep your eyes peeled. You might just see Quisha.
All right. Well, that was all the good questions. But send them
Without a
in.
crack pipe in our hand.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, Miss Pat, before we go, what was your favorite scene or episode?
I think my favorite episode will probably be the pilot. I'm really close to that because even though me and Jordan wrote an episode together, that pilot was just the groundbreaking for what we was trying to do. So it will probably always be the dearest to my heart. And it you know, what was crazy, even though it took almost 2 years after we shot it, it's still funny. It's still current. It's still funny. And I just love the pilot.
I've seen it 6 or 7 times, and it was still good. And Deanna, I don't know how many times you've seen it, but it was fresh.
I've streamed the show 9 times since it came out on Thursday morning. So I've seen it at least 12 to 13 times myself.
Do you still laugh?
Yeah, I still laugh. I tell you, I'll never hear that song without thinking of Terry when you first come home and he's in the kitchen and he's singing. Forever from here on out, every time I hear that song, I will think about your show.
What are the cast and crew like? Are you in touch with everybody? Like, since the response has been so good,
My cast?
yeah. What are you guys talking about?
We talk all the time.
Yeah, but what are you saying to each other about it?
They just happy and they're celebrating and they're just fucking happy. I mean, we talking and touching bases and they're like, congratulations, Miss Pat. And we a happy fucking cast of family. That's how we carry on. So
speaking of the cast, can we schedule them for some of the episodes coming up? I talked to Theo on Instagram. I hit up Guadalupe. So
I'm gonna see who's available tomorrow if we can do it. Next week is really busy for me. So I'm gonna see if we can squeeze somebody in there tomorrow.
Perfect.
It'll be a Patreon. Cool. Yeah, and if we can get 2 of them in, then that's fine. But I was drinking today. That's why I'm kind of sleepy because I had a fucking Amaretto sour, and that bitch about to put me to sleep. And so, I can't drink. When I'm drinking, Chris is sexy to me.
I knew it.
You got to start getting some liquor with Red Bull, Miss Pat.
Wake your ass up. Yeah, if you're gonna be super busy the next week, so we should definitely get one in tomorrow, so we have something for next.
Try to get 1 or 2 in tomorrow. That would be great, and then we can go from there. I mean, but I make a call as soon as we end this one to get them in. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank y'all for knocking this bitch out the park for us. I mean, Crack Babies, when I tell you y'all showed up and showed the fuck out, all 11,000 of y'all showed up and showed the fuck out. And I'm really working on hard dropping a surprise in the Patreon for the people who's overseas. And not in, is it overseas?
Yeah.
That's the right word. Yeah, I'm looking to drop a big surprise in the fucking Patreon for the people who overseas and who can't watch the show. So stay tuned. I mean, hopefully you are in the Patreon if you want to get this surprise that I'm going to drop in there this week.
Cool. Really proud of you. It was really, really good. It was great.
Thank you. We got so much other shit planned, and hey, I need y'all to, I want to say this. Please go on. I looked on, I got a tweet from somebody. If you go on to, what is it, Cooper? If you, Amazon Prime Video, and please leave a review. We got 5 stars.
That's awesome.
Yeah, go and leave reviews wherever. Leave fucking reviews. I mean, tag a friend. Look, Monday is going to be tag a friend to watch the Miss Pat show. Tag a fucking friend. And TikTok, people seeing it on TikTok. They're coming over for the first time, and they're like, oh my God, this show is fucking so good. I had to try it out. It's nothing else out there like it. But reviews mean everything. I mean, a lot of time I shop only by reviews. So, please do that for me. Also, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have some Miss Pat t-shirts made. I have some for a box, and I have some other things that I'm gonna be giving away within a week or so. And when I'm gonna open it up, to the Patreon people first. Then after that, and then the crack babies who's in the crack baby groups. I probably have 200 of the items, so they would definitely be first come, first serve. It's probably be from small to 3X. It's gonna be a Miss Pat shirt. I think I have 100 fanny packs I'm gonna give away. That's gonna be left over. But I just want to show you guys my appreciation. And since the people in the Patreon, I've been behind, y'all been so fucking patient. I'm gonna drop it in there first. But stay tuned this week. I'm gonna give you guys a big surprise, and we're gonna go from there.
Cool.
And I'm gonna catch up. Thank you. I love you, Deanna and Chris.
I love you too.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of The Pat Down. Make sure you check out my website at MissPatComedy.com for all of my social media, my tour dates, my book. Make sure you spread the word about my podcast. Please rate and review. Please rate and review and share. Thank y'all so much, y'all. I've been Miss Pat.